All right. Here we go. Cold intro, and that's how it goes. So, women's sports never has controversy. The controversy before the trans era was why the fuck are these women on TV? That's it. I'm not even being an asshole. I'm just like, literally, if you're flicking through the television and on ESPN 4 there's women's sports, you're like, okay, if this is not beach volleyball, and this is coming from a guy who prefers men, but if this is not beach volleyball, why are we watching this? Right? But now you get the Caitlyn Jenners who put it on the map. Well, Caitlyn Jenner didn't put women's sports on the map, but you know what I'm saying. The the Leah Thompsons of the world put it on the map. And so baseball had the steroid era, and trans sport or women's sports has the biological male era. That's what we're in right now. We're in the biological male era of trans athletes dominating female sports, and the debate is: do we get a trans league? The problem with that is that you're just not going to have enough athletes. You just don't have enough athletes unless there's actual funding like the WNBA, and then men who are like the lowest level of professional athletes in the male division want to now go into the trans division. See how complicated stuff gets? You cannot make the professional men's leagues, but you are going to put on a dress and enter the trans league, or put on a swimsuit or fight in the octagon, which ends up being pretty entertaining. So now the decision becomes like, do we have a men's size ball or do we have a woman's size ball? See, like, even right now as I'm saying this, my head is getting fucking, it's complicated. It's complicated to me as I'm like, is this even good right now? What the fuck am I talking about? It's nonsensical. This is how nonsensical it is. And this is not like transphobic. This is the details. The devil's in the fucking details, as you can hear right now. The devil is in the details. So do we lower the net down? Like, if we're looking at a trans basketball league, do we lower the net down and we make it like 9 feet or 8.5 feet? I know the balls are smaller in the WNBA, but do we lower the net down? Because the problem with lowering the net down in the trans league, because now you have people who are biological male and who identify as females, and then we lower the net down a foot so you can get more scoring, more dunking. But I have played basketball in college, and we would lower the net down so we could dunk in the gym. We would lower it down a foot. And there's nothing that makes you feel more like a man than dunking a basketball. So what, that's in midair as this trans chick is dunking the basketball. I'm a woman, boom. And then it's like, yo, what a mix of feelings. What a roller coaster of emotions a trans female basketball player would feel in the moment. See, it is complicated, but there is something there. I used to play baseball my whole life, and I gained a lot. I spent my whole life playing baseball. I stunk, but I worked really hard, and I got to a high enough level with a decent enough skill that I thought maybe I have a son and he can carry it. Some people, they stunk. They were the high school quarterback in Denton, Texas, or some town like that. Denton, Texas, Denton, Maryland. There's a few Dentons all over the U.S. And the dad sucked, but he was on the football team. It's like, well, I'll get my son to play. And then he gets a son. And that son stinks. And he's like teaching his kid all these things that he knew, but he sucked. So he's teaching his kid all these bad things, and he's giving this kid this hard time. The kid fucking hates the sport. But then I used to think, man, maybe get the daughter. You get a daughter with your knowledge automatically dominating female sports. Any like just a little physical ability, you're going to dominate female sports because women generally don't want to play sports. So you maybe give her a little steroids or something like that. They're not going to test female. Like that's always the thing too. If you give a girl steroids and she's in high school or college, you'll like have feminists on your side if they're like, we need to test her. And I'm like, you fucking, you're being a misogynist. What, my daughter's no good? My daughter can't hit a ball like a man? But now the play is to revert back better than the lesbian. Or sorry, better than your daughter, who probably is a lesbian once you give her steroids, is to get the male who will enter the trans league because it's exciting. The league is exciting. It's a little bit of both. You get this. You got a little bit of man, a little bit of female. The biological man, the gender female. It makes it exciting. It makes it more of an exciting, not as exciting as male sports, but not as bad as female sports. So it will take over eventually. So I was thinking about that, like, because I did think legitimately, like, if I had a daughter, I would fucking juice her through the gills, like, just like raging, just a raging daughter, who then, the problem is, like, what if she's good enough where she's like, Dad, I want to play with the boys. I'm like, you fucking bitch, you're ruining my plan. Although, if she is the one who breaks the gender barrier, then you fucking win. Then I've concocted Frankenstein. I made Frankenstein. So that's a pretty good idea. By the way, I woke up 4 times in the night, during my sleep this morning, in the middle of the night, this morning, multiple times, thinking about this shit. Like, I would wake up and I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. That's not a bad idea. Like, every time I'm like, Jesus Christ, let me sleep for 8 hours before your crazy ideas enter your fucking head. And now I'm on 3 coffees doing this. It started slow, but I know I've got something here. Not everyone's gonna be a cooker, but this fucking idea, which I can bring into reality by having a kid. I have to find someone with, that's the other thing too, like finding your partner. Like, a lot of people are looking for pretty. I'm not gonna get pretty. I'm gonna get a 6 or a 7. So I need to find a 6 or a 7 with athletic ability, So it's tough. A butterface. That's what you want. You want a butterface. You want a 6'7", great body, terrible face, and then just between my genetics and my knowledge, I'm a very studious guy when I love something. Like, I've been watching some stuff on I was curious about the pyramids for a while because I listened to Rogan. Once you listen to Rogan, he fucking plants these ideas in your head. So I went down that rabbit hole, and the idea that fascinates me is the idea of a previous lifetime, like a previous civilization that was more advanced than us. That is something I find exciting. Because I used to, dude, you're going to think this is fucking crazy. I'm fucking rocking and rolling right now on my 3rd coffee. I can feel it. I can feel my body. That's why I love those coffee pouches grinds. I put them in and I fucking go. 8:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. And I'm like tired and I just put a coffee pouch in. But when I was a fucking kid, I was like 11 or 12 years old. I used to think in my head I would play by myself. I had friends, but sometimes I would just play by myself. I'd take a football to the park, and I thought maybe I could be a punter in the NFL and I would kick a football. I would like punt it and kick it. I actually once kicked a 35-yard field goal. But I used to look at batteries and I'm like, what if this fucking battery, you find the battery in the ground. I'm saying, what if this battery came from a previous civilization? I thought of that. I just never fucking sat. I should have sat in that. I would have been so much smarter. I would have like had these ideas in high school, but I wanted to kick fucking a football alone in the park, thinking maybe someday I could be an NFL punter. Look at me. An NFL punter, but if I fucking thought about this as a 15-year-old, from 11 to 15, people would say, who's this fucking wizard? Who's this fucking academic, J.J. Lieberman? But I wanted to kick footballs and throw baseballs and make it because I thought I could be the first Canadian Jew queer, and I even knew I was a queer, to make it in Major League Baseball. So these are my ideas. Definitely crazier when I'm on coffee, baby. I see that's how you know you're fucking out of it right now. When you start going, baby, adding terms you don't usually say. Started slow. I just got a haircut. Started slow. It's all over the place, but I know I'm on something right now. Fucking ramped up about this one. This one's a pretty good one. Although I'm gonna watch it back and it's gonna be like, Jesus Christ, this is like I was high, and it was actually in the moment. It felt great, but it stunk. Anyways, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Toledo, Ohio with Ryan Long, Columbus, Ohio with Ryan Long, and then Cincinnati, Ohio. And then the week after, we're going to Pittsburgh, and at the end of the month, Dallas, Austin, and fucking rolling into March. We're cooking, baby. We're cooking right now. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. Like this and share it. Well, don't share it. Just like it.